Hey everyone, AMR back again with another Cleveland Browns episode. So I'm actually filming this on Easter, so happy Easter to everyone that was celebrating. But we currently, last episode, we escaped victorious against the Green Bay Packers. I really hate that team. The scoreline's a little closer than what it appeared in game. I think we gave up a little bit of a garbage time scoring. But for the second to last week of the regular season, we have another tough matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's go ahead and jump into next week's matchup. So before we go ahead and get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go ahead and deal with those pesky staff points. I really do try and keep on this, but to be honest, man, it's like kind of hidden. It's up at the top. Like, I don't really look up there. Like, when you're in a franchise mode, I feel like it's a one and done type of feeling, and it's up there. I don't ever really look outside of like the main portion of the screen. In short, I'm just trying to defend the fact that I'm actually terrible at content creation, and I'm getting my legs underneath me. But we have a breakout player message here. So, Coach, have you been paying attention to Shaq Thompson? He played an awesome game last week. Keep an eye on that guy. If he has another big game against the Steelers this week, we might have a future superstar on our hands. Hold the Steelers less than 200 total yards, or get Shaq Thompson 2 interceptions, forced fumbles, tackles for losses, and sacks. Not and, but you know what I mean. So gonna have to be doing a lot of blitzing, it seems like, from Shaq Thompson or what have you, because I don't know if we're gonna be able to hold the Pittsburgh Steelers offense to under 200 yards. Even if the team sucked, it would be really hard to do that. So let's go ahead and jump into the weekly strategy here, see if any of our key players end up getting injured. So as we get closer and closer to the offseason here, or I should say the postseason, these injuries are becoming more and more prevalent. You can really not afford to lose some of your key players. We have a really good chance to win it all. And so basically what I'm just trying to say there is, like, don't do something stupid in practice and get hurt, because I think that could really do a lot of damage for this team's projection in the future. So we have a couple of player upgrades. Not really sure if it's going to be anyone worth looking at. You do have DJ Dallas and Denzel Ward. So Denzel Ward is for sure going to be a person that we want to upgrade. I think that his man-to-man coverage is going to be a scheme fit, so let's go ahead and upgrade that. He is now playing up to a 94 overall with morale, and he is up to a 92 overall without. So doing spectacular. He's star dev, so I'm hoping to have him up to superstar dev in the offseason. DJ Dallas has served as like a pretty good third back. I mean, you got the primary backs of Raheem Mostert and AJ Dillon, and then DJ Dallas just kind of serves as like that tweener guy. But all in all, he's been pretty good when Raheem Mostert went down, and so yeah, always good to like go ahead and get some of those other players up to speed. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's matchup.
Back with another week of football here, Bob. We have the visiting Cleveland Browns, who are on an absolute tear of the entire NFL, the obvious favorites to win this year's Super Bowl, facing off against our home team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by Justin Herbert and Josh Jacobs. With not to mention the safety on this team. My goodness. Tyrann Mathieu, he is so good. And oh my gosh, we also have AJ Brown, Jack Doyle. I mean, this team is electric. It is going to be an absolute all-down Brock. Now,
Thanks, Bob. Weirdo. All right. So here we are at kickoff. Let's go ahead and jump right into this one. All right. So here we are. We have that breakout player challenge where we need to hold Pittsburgh to less than 200 yards of total offense, or get Shaq Thompson 2 tackles /INTs /sacks, forced fumbles, what have you. So already getting pressure over on the left side there. Unfortunately, the play was to the right, so it didn't really have too much of an impact there. We are going to be using Shaq Thompson pretty much this entire game on defense. It's going to be a screen to the right. He ends up getting blocked, but we are holding them to literally no yards. I guess they're going to give him a yard on that play, but on the stat line, it looked like Justin Herbert is 1 for 1 for nothing. And I don't think that Josh Jacobs has any. Oh my God, really inaccurate pass there by Justin Herbert. And that is going to be a quick 3 and out. So this game could get out of hand early because I have a pretty good feeling we're going to be able to have our own on the offensive side of the ball. All right, so here we are. We are going to take over here on offense. I always like to run like a somewhat of a mesh play on the first down, and then possibly bring, what's his name, OBJ on a slant route. We have that safety net of B sitting in the middle of the field typically. I think that play is open. OBJ is open over the top. Can he get past on the sideline? He's got one to beat. Oh my God, the shoestring tackle, and we are down to the 8-yard line. This game is going to be electric. This is like when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. Flag on the play. It's going to be a holding. Wow. Giving us a nice 1st and goal. That was pretty nice of them, actually. I didn't expect that. You didn't have to do that. I think I'm going to check out of this and then put OBJ on a zig route. So we'll see what he can do. Is the safety bite? He doesn't bite, and they ran a scream. So not really much I could do there if I wasn't going to be passing immediately. I said it last episode, but I still feel it to be true. I feel like when I'm on defense, it's a lot harder to stop a team when they're in the goal line, and it's a whole lot harder to score when I'm on the goal line. I don't know if that's a very similar feeling that people are sharing, but I don't know why that is. Maybe my play calling is just ass, and when it's on the goal line, it just gets highlighted. Raheem Mostert falls forward to the half-yard line, it looks like, and we are going to go for it on 4th down here. I think I'm going to switch out of the power O and run a power up the gut here on the left-hand side. See if we can squeak in, do a nice little truck forward, and we are in for the touchdown. We take an early 6-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Taking over here on defense now, we are still going to be using into Shaq Thompson. That's not going to change until that goal is met. So continue to look for some types of a passing action across, and there's just nothing there for Justin Herbert. Oh my God. See, that's what I'm talking about. You cannot afford to get these key injuries this late in the season. If Myles Garrett is out, I mean, that is a huge blow to our defense. I think that Hakeem Hicks is already out for most of the playoffs. And then you can't sit there and say like, oh yeah, even if he's out for 2 games, then it's not that big of a deal. Dude, that's the first week of the playoffs. So I don't like it. I think that, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to jinx anything. It's going to be a run to the left. Tried to block shed, but I couldn't. For whatever reason, for whatever reason, I wasn't able to bring my safeties up in time. I just picked the wrong play. So, bruised sternum. That's good. That's good. It's a pretty serious injury if you don't know. It's bruised, so it's not broken or anything. It's just like whenever you get in that chest area, you got to be pretty careful. So we're going to try and bring some pressure here on Justin Herbert. Not the running back, but rather the quarterback. And it looks like Shaq Thompson was able to get the tackle for the loss there. So that is part of his goal being updated right there. Love to see that. I need to get over to him. I wish there was like a button that I could just press and just be on him. So you got a halfback draw up the middle. It is now going to be a 3rd and 10. And we are sitting pretty. We're doing a man blitz still, so probably not the smartest decision in the world, but I don't really care at this point. I just think that... Oh my God, he was so close. That's my bad. Shaq Thompson's guy is number 31. That's 100% on me. I got greedy and was trying to get the sack up the gut, but, it's going to happen. Makes for interesting content, I guess. So a good return there by Kadarius Toney, taking us out to the 33-yard line. Really good starting position on the field here. I think I'm going to start off with a counter play. And then this drive is going to have much more of the passing game involved. The first set of downs didn't really feature too many passing plays. I think that it kind of scared me seeing Tyrann Mathieu out there, just being honest with you guys. Okay, so pretty bad play call there. Ripien is 1 for 2 for 48. Have you ever seen a more hilarious stat line? Okay, so Hayden Hurst over here. I think that we could end up targeting him. Typically, we like to target OBJ, but we'll go ahead and look at Hayden Hurst first. I think Hayden Hurst has a step. Can we get him the ball is the question. Just not enough on that. I'm going to go ahead and switch into this play yet again. I have a pretty good feeling here. So OBJ might be open on the cross route. Looks like he is. And it is just an inaccurate pass, forcing a 4th down here. What do we do on this channel? We do anything but punt. I am not going to punt. I don't care. I don't think that it's a very smart decision to punt early on in a football game. I think that there's too much to be lost momentum-wise. Oh, and Hayden Hurst falls forward. Did we get enough? And we did. We got enough for the 1st down. That's why you don't punt, man. Like, so much good can come from just, like, trusting your team. Darius Toney goes down with an injury now, too. This is tough. This is tough. I don't like this. I'm going to put Devontae Parker on a streak here. Let's see what happens. I think he might be open. He's got to go up aggressively for that football, man. I switched on to him, and he never jumped. Nothing to be said about that play. There's literally nothing else I could do. So that kind of sucks, man. This is a divisional game. Even if it's not for, a playoff spot or anything like that, because I'm pretty sure we have that 1st round bye on lock. It just sucks to. It just sucks to see that you can't do what you're supposed to in a game. Like, I literally have to put 110% focus. Pectoral strain. I think we want to sub him out. God damn. Okay, good little run there. Maybe 3 yards on the carry. 4 yards on the carry by Josh Jacobs, forcing a 3rd and short. Enough to be, like, cautious, but also not enough to pick up the 1st down. And this is going to bring us down to the end of the 1st quarter, actually. So at the end of the 1st quarter, we are all tied up 7-7. It's a lot closer of a game than what I had originally anticipated. There is Shaq Thompson. I don't see Shaq Thompson, so. And Dante Hightower is so slow that he can't catch up to the receiver. That's kind of why I wanted Shaq Thompson to be guarding him, but whatever. Let's go ahead and put the old guy on the field and let him. Okay, Shaq Thompson gets out in space, ends up delivering a major hit stick, and that is what you love to see. So it is going to be a 2nd and very, very short here. I'm guessing it's going to be a run to the left. Oh my God, how did they get that ball off? Another monster hit there by Justin Simmons. Cole Kmet. It's always fun to see a Bear in the game do successful things. Not too often, actually. So end up getting just taken up again, man. We cannot stop getting. We need to, like, figure out a way to block shed this guy. Yeah, I actually have the spy on Josh Jacobs, so I need to be careful here. Oh my God, how do you not pick that ball? All right, Shaq Thompson. He's got the usering here on Josh Jacobs, so got to be careful. End up getting a nice little hit stick initially on him, but I don't think, we're going to get the tackle there. I just don't think it's a TFL, obviously. It's good to force a nice little field goal attempt here rather than getting, holy shank, bro. Oh my God. I could have done a better kick than that. Ugh. What was that? That right there is a job terminator. That is a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning phone call where your team says, yep, you are no longer on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It wasn't, I can't even say with good faith that it was nice to have you. We all were laughing as you left. So we are quickly working ourselves into a bit of a hole here. The run game was successful early on. I think that I tried to deviate from a working system just for the sake of trying some other things out. but it appears that our run game. It appears that our run game is actually going to be the way to victory here. Raheem Mostert's so fast. We had blockers downfield. We had been passing constantly, and Ripien just has not shown us enough accuracy for us to put all of our faith into him. So we end up jumping out here to a 14-7 lead. I believe that if the Steelers can hold their own, they can actually run this clock down to the 2-minute warning / halftime. So more to be seen. Gotta love your highlight player out there making tackles on kickoff. I don't know what that's all about, but that's not going to count, buddy. I don't know how you can get a tackle for a loss on kickoff. Switching over to Shaq Thompson. Looks like he's got the flat route over there on the left. He's covering this. How does he get open, man? How do you let that guy get open? N'Keal Harry, who is not even good, bro. This is a man who had so much hype in the NFL. I'm going for a blitz. You've got to break that pass up, Callahan. What are you doing? Oh my God, it's so frustrating sometimes watching some of these guys. Like, they're in position to do all the right things and then they just can't deliver. It's infuriating. And I'm trying my best here to try and get Thompson the whatever it's called, the spotlight player thing. I'm trying my damnedest to try and get him going. Not having Myles Garrett in the game definitely puts a little bit of a damper. Got a nice little hold call there on the outside. I think that was actually Shaq Thompson that made that flag happen. Yeah, so that's going to be their left tackle. It's always good. Josh Jacobs actually has an injury now, so it'll be interesting to see what he ends up coming down with. Everyone is either bruising their chest plate or tearing some part of their titty off. I don't know, man. This has been an interesting game thus far. Really nice tackle there in open space by Shaq Thompson. Not a TFL, but it is a very good tackle in open space to force out a 3rd and long here. Trying to stay with the routes. And we end up bottling up the quarterback there. 92. That's Strobridge. I actually don't know who 92 on the team is, because I think Ndamukong Suh is number 93. And then you got Myles Garrett at 95. I think that was actually Ed Oliver. Yep, as you can see down there in the bottom part of your screen, you can see that Ed Oliver ended up making that sack. Not bad. 8 sacks in the season thus far when being injured for probably 3 or 4 games. Raheem Mostert just, if a fart blows on him, he falls down. This guy has like a negative trucking ability, I swear. He's also got like an F for injuries in real life. Like, he's atrocious at getting injured in real life. I picked him on my fantasy team this year, and he was out in the first game of the season. Sucks. Happens. So we are running the ball down the throat of this Pittsburgh Steelers team, and they really have no answers for us. Okay, it's a very good open field. I mean, the holes that Raheem Mostert is being able to run through here is just like night and day. There's no answers to this run game right now. He is at 12 for 131 yards. Switching over here into a bit of a catch that. He falls down. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and run a quick little halfback dive up the gut. See if we can catch them off guard. God, that guy like blocked him into me. And Raheem Mostert is falling down on the 2-yard line. He is 13 for 147. We are getting really, really close here to just pushing it forward, and Raheem Mostert muscles his way forward for his 3rd touchdown of the day. So something super important to know is that we actually are receiving the football in the second half. So as long as we can have them escape with no points here, I think it's a win for our team. So how do you, like, again, dude, how do you let that pass not get broken up? Unbelievable, man. The DBs are like right there. They're just not breaking on those routes. Really good tackle there by Denzel Ward on Jack Doyle. Pittsburgh ends up running another timeout, so I think that there's probably, 20-ish seconds on the clock? 17 seconds left to play here in the first half. They're trying to get in field goal range, so don't really blame them. The biggest thing here is to keep them in bounds. Okay, trying to get Shaq Thompson up there. And that pass is actually broken up. You've got to be careful here at some shots at the end zone. You never know what they're going to be capable of. Nice hands, Jack Doyle. And they're going to punt the football with 10 seconds left. Unreal. How do you not go for it? With 1 second left. With 1 second, we are going to run a counter. We are going to do what we have done all game and try and get Raheem Mostert into the record books with this one. Raheem Mostert with another monster carry. My goodness. So going here into halftime, we have a 21-7 lead, receiving the football here. It's been the Raheem Mostert show for most of this game, and I think it's going to continue to do that here in the second half. Kadarius Toney is back in the game, even though I substitute him out. Love to know that the feature works. So as we take over here on downs, we're going to go ahead and run a nice little trap. Been running counters like crazy, so I think it's time to switch it up a little bit. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Raheem Mostert. He must have heard me talking trash earlier because he just broke like 3 tackles. My God, he can sniff 200. This dude is on another level. I'm on a level. Hey. Nice little receiving yards. Get a nice little cut back there. Raheem Mostert, go get you some oxygen, bruh. Dude out here got almost 1,500 yards on the year. Dude's been lights out, and he was injured for, I think, like 3 games. So that is super impressive out of our running back. Switching up here. A.J. Dillon is always going to be falling forward. That's just a problem that the Steelers are going to have to learn to love. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's where that 94 trucking ability comes in. Dude, this is like in the movie Friday when Chris Tucker looks at Ice Cube and goes, how'd you get fired on your day off? Like, how did OBJ just get injured when he wasn't even in the play? Bro, like, what are you doing? Raheem Mostert, we're trying to get him his 4th on the day, and we have blockers. We got blockers, and he is so close to the end zone, falling down at the 1-yard line. I'm going to go ahead and do a nice little halfback run up the gut. Falling forward, getting the touchdown. We have Raheem Mostert with his 4th touchdown on the day. So during the kickoff, we were able to see an update on the OBJ injury, and it turns out that he actually bruised his sternum as well. These Steelers players must be doing complete diving with their helmets because they are hurting all of my players. Shaq Thompson got some hands on the quarterback there. Unfortunately, the quarterback was just able to get the ball out. We are having another man blitz here. And honestly, like, I like what I see. Nice little swim move. Get another sack there. Love to see that. Ed Oliver with his 9th sack on the season and the 2nd of the day. Dude has been lights out for us. I'll go ahead and switch into under smoke. Open field tackles, non-existent. Laviska Shenault would have been able to run 185 billion yards. I swear to God, there's certain times where there's just like logic built into Madden's back end that I don't know if it's like a hot factor or some type of like an attribute that you can set that just gets like flipped and turned on, and then there's nothing that the opposing team can do to stop you. I swear to God, there are just times where the opposing team is insurmountable. There's nothing that you could do. You could literally play a pitch perfect game and you'll still lose that game. There's just certain things that happen where, I don't know. I think it's a known thing though. I probably could have cut that back. That was a bit of a bitch move on my part, not gonna lie. Been running a ton of counters over to the left-hand side, so let's go ahead and run a trap to the right. Ripien might not even get 200 passing yards on today. Like, it has literally been the Raheem Mostert show, and I could care less. I could really care less. This is how you get to a 28-7 lead. You find the ways to exploit the opposing team, and then you just keep pressing that over and over and over and over again. Like, why would you try and fix something that's not broke? just keep doing it. Like, you don't like to win? What's the thing here? So it looks like the Steelers might have an injured player. That's typically what happens. I've noticed there's like a little bit of a bug in the Madden UI where if a player gets hurt, then sometimes it'll render it as a timeout when that's not necessarily the case. AJ Dillon is going to run for, oh my God, he gets a shoestring tackle. So he is all the way out to the 9-yard line. We are sitting very, very pretty here. I think that this is pretty much the line in the sand. There's like a point of no return kind of at this point. Halfway through the third, and we're running a halfback draw with DJ Dallas. Oh, man. Raheem Mostert. Bro, what? Knee cartilage tear? Shut up with this shit, man. Come on. We can't have this. I was literally talking about this in the pregame. Getting crossing slants here. Rippion's probably just going to get his shit pushed in. Nice catch there by Devontae Parker. We fall down for a nice little touchdown. Ripien gets some yards in adding to the score line. We jump out to a 35-7 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So switching over here into a man. I feel pretty good about this. We have Shaq Thompson over here on the left-hand side, running kind of like a cross route. Oh my goodness. Khalil Mack just kind of like rode on the back. Dude, Ripien is one ugly MF, dude. He kind of looks like Dan Orlovsky. You guys don't know who that is. I'll try and remember to put a picture of him up right here, but that's kind of who he reminds me of. Oh, it's so open. How does this happen, man? Blown coverages have been just such a problem for this team. Man blitz has been the way to go here. Justin Herbert is a far better quarterback than what this game is giving him credit for. I will say that much. He would be able to handle these situations far better. And he's actually kind of fast, believe it or not. Like, he had one game where he had like 90 some odd yards rushing, and he had a play in there that looked stellar. Like, he looked so good. Almost a pick there by Denzel Ward, but A.J. Brown's hands looked to be like right in front of his, so weren't able to get our hands on the ball there. But this game is kind of getting a little closer than what I would like. It's, they're marching down the field, and it's just been death by 1,000 cuts here. Keep getting first down after first down. It's a very, very slow progression for this Pittsburgh Steelers team, which is what you like to see if you're my team that's currently up right now. But as we go here into the final quarter of today's play, we just need to be cognizant that we have a lead. We don't need to do like any type of pressing. You can continue to blitz if you want, but by no means do you have to. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have broken that threshold, that kind of safety net that if Shaq Thompson had a quiet game, that like Pittsburgh as a whole could be held to under 200 yards, and they're already over that. As you can see, Justin Herbert's line keeps on posting up there. He's at 214 yards, and I think Josh Jacobs is like close to like 60 yards on the ground. So we definitely need Shaq Thompson to step it up here. Try and force a couple of fumbles or something. Shaq Thompson gets the open field tackle there. Like to see that. I wish I could see it a little bit more, honestly. Dante Hightower, we have sitting right in the middle of the field. It looks like it's supposed to be a blitz here by Dante Hightower. And, oh my God, how do you let that happen, man? It's going to be a touchdown by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Kadarius Toney ends up giving us really good fielding position again. At the 38-yard line, we are taking over on possession here. A.J. Dillon is vastly slower than our previous running back of Raheem Mostert. But all things being considered, I think that A.J. Dillon is more of a bruiser back, so that really doesn't matter anyway. So Tomlinson ends up getting injured on the play here. I think that Pittsburgh's actually out of contention for the playoffs anyway, so I don't know how much this game actually means to them. They might, if I were them, I would just pull their starters now. I don't think that there's much to be gained here. A.J. Dillon's got some good blockers here. I mean, this secondary just can't really seem to figure out how to manage this. Like, their linebacking core is letting us get way too downfield too fast, and our blocking scheme is pretty electric right now. I like to give credit where credit's due, and our offensive linemen have been doing a fantastic job today. Can't always say that, but today it's been very good. Try and get around the outside. Ripien ends up fumbling the ball out of bounds, but he ends up picking up, I think, like 3 or 4 on the carry before he ends up officially going out of bounds. So we have DJ Dallas in the game now. He could end up having a little bit more explosivity. Get a nice little bounce off of one off of 2. Oh my God, I really hope the play is not coming back because that was electric from DJ Dallas. So we are backed up to a 3rd and 13 here. I think that you kind of have to just hold your breath and pray for the best here. Getting a nice little catch there by Darius Toney on the slant route. As you saw, I don't know if you actually saw it, but Ripien's only got like 124 yards passing. He's got that Carson Wentz line again. AJ Dillon is just motoring forward. Guy is down. Looks like to be maybe a calf cramp. Madden's developers are so bad at actually like making it look like the injury. I mean, I don't want to make it like look too obvious, you know, or too gruesome, too realistic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. AJ Dillon bounces back inside, and we end up getting a touchdown there. Our running backs have just literally just ran down the throat of this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Not really even a close matchup in my personal opinion, and you love to see that. So we are up to a 42-14 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers with about half of the 4th quarter left to go. Really good tackle there by Dante Hightower. Pretty much blew out Jack Doyle's knee in real life. Interesting to see how he would recover from that situation. Oh my God, you gotta give me the credit for the sack on that, man. I'm trying my damnedest here. Any kind of like blitzes that I can run here? I don't want to do like a deep blitz. I want to do like an actual blitz. I'm going to try and get Khalil Mack activated over here on the right-hand side. Oh, nice pick there by Denzel Ward, baby. Let's go. Denzel Ward with his 4th interception on the season. Dude is a monster in the secondary. I think our defense is actually averaging 1 takeaway per game. Probably more than that, honestly. There's been a couple games where you're like, wow, this has been a lot. Kadarius Toney goes down for the 2nd time today. It's always good to see a player that you subbed out of the game come back in and then get re-injured again. Love to see that. So now he's probably actually like torn his pectoral muscle. I hate it. I hate it so much. Continue to our running up the gut. And AJ Dillon is over 100 yards on the day as well now. So this run defense is pretty atrocious from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I mean it's kind of the laughing stock of the league, I have to imagine at this point. We haven't had it this easy in a while. Fighting forward there is Devontae Parker. He's not able to actually get into the end zone, so kind of sucks, but not that big of a deal. Trying to do a nice little truck move there. AJ Dillon is in for his 2nd touchdown of the day. My God, man. Kadarius Toney, bruised sternum, will not return the game. Thank God it's just a bruise. That thing must be like purple at this point because he was bruised before. What's the bruise go away mid-game? We jump out to a 49-14 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And oh, cool, David DeCastro also got injured with a high ankle sprain. This is fantastic. This is fine. This is fine. So as we take over on downs here, we need to be cognizant of the fact that I don't think Shaq Thompson has delivered yet on his breakout player yet. We've done a pretty good job so far on the defensive side of the football. All things being considered, though, I think it's been a relatively quiet game for him. I'm not really sure how else to go about trying to get him activated. He's a linebacker. I mean, it's hard to get these guys to get sacks all the time. This could be the play, though. Kind of a bad call right there. I thought that I might have jumped offside by accident. So I definitely didn't want to give them the free first down. I want them to fight for it. They end up getting the first down, so it's not too bad, but still, you know what I mean? Oh my God, a second pick there by Denzel Ward. What is going on? 5th pick this season by Denzel Ward, and A.J. Dillon is going to have a chance to compete with Raheem Mostert's stats on today. A.J. Dillon falls forward for yet another time. Oh my God. A.J. Dillon's down now too. Every one of my players is just getting injured, man. I don't understand what else I can do here. DJ Dallas is going to have the highlight reel now. DJ Dallas 2 for 18. I'm going to stop the video at the end and go ahead and check how many total yards of offense we had on the ground. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I think even Ripien got in on the fun. So DJ Dallas is averaging 9 a carry so far, just on counter after counter after counter. Go ahead and cut that back, and it is going to be a walk-in touchdown for DJ Dallas. I mean, wasn't even really all that concerned, honestly. Torn labrum. Awesome. Torn labrum from A.J. Dillon. Speaking from experience, a torn labrum is a bitch of an injury. So that's going to require surgery. He's probably not going to be available for us until the offseason. That's fantastic. He is a running back, so I don't really know how that affects football. I was a pitcher/catcher in baseball, so I know that whenever you tear your labrum, that is yeah, it's a big deal. You can't really do much of anything. So, I mean, even swinging the bat is hard, the torn labrum. So hopefully he's not out for too long. But all things being considered, he is a running back. He takes a lot of shots, so you just really don't know what that type of injury is going to bring. Nice completion, actually, there for N'Keal Harry. He's probably close to, 100 yards on today? Had a pretty good day. I've seen his name quite a bit on the screen. Trying to get Shaq Thompson activated here, man. I don't think it's going to happen. And the clock hits 0 here. Mike Tomlin can't believe it. He's looking at this guy, man. What the hell, man? Well, come on. All right, so taking a look here at the post-game analysis. Go ahead and look at the team stats. So as a team, our team managed to get 413 total yards on the ground in comparison to the Pittsburgh Steelers of 57. They were able to double our statistic on the through the air stat. That being considered, though, we were able to... Where's the touchdowns at? I don't know where the touchdowns is, but we had 7 touchdowns in the red zone. We had a total of 26 first downs in comparison to their 14. They were kind of nickel and diming us there quite a bit near the end. We had almost 700 yards of total offense compared to their almost 400. And then we were +1 in the turnovers battle. So all things being considered, what a win for this team. So we got 2 player upgrades here. We got Ed Oliver. A little surprised that Raheem Mostert's not on this list. Kind of would have figured he might have been. Love to see that, though. A.J. Dillon, who's currently injured, but he is... I mean, look at this dude. They didn't do a terrible job on him, what he looks like. So... don't hate to see that, but I think when I got him on the squad, it's a 76 overall, I want to say. Go ahead and look at the message of the player. Didn't have the game I was hoping he'd have, and it's my fault. I either misread his talent or I didn't put him in a good enough position to succeed. Either way, it's a big letdown. So that sucks, but it's all part of the game. Before we go ahead and cut the video, though, let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the injuries that happened, and then a preview at next week's. So you have A.J. Dillon, who is not going to be returning to us for 4 weeks, and the very same thing is true for Raheem Mostert, who is also going to be gone for 4 weeks. So that is a pretty big blow to our running game. So we're going to have to rely heavily on DJ Dallas in these next coming weeks. Yeah, we have the first round bye, I think. So if that goes well, then these players could be back for the Super Bowl. That's the biggest thing here. And then lastly, let's go ahead and take a quick sneak peek over here at the Bengals. So obviously the Bengals are led by Aaron Rodgers and Keenan Allen. You have Rodney Hudson, Wyatt Teller, Robert Woods, Kenny Moore, Jadeveon Clowney, Brian O'Neill, Trey Hendrickson, Chris Harris Jr., Linval Joseph, and Tress Way, and DeAndre Swift, Devin Bush. I mean, just the list goes on and on. Very good team. I think it's going to be a tough one for us. I think that they are... Well, let's go ahead and advance to the next week here and see what they look like. So as you can see here, the Cincinnati Bengals are 8-8. We are 15-1, rated an 85 overall, and they have an 87 offense, 84 overall. It's going to be a tough game for us, but I think that we can handle it pretty handedly. Let's go ahead and do some player upgrades before we cut. Justin Tucker, you'd love to see your kicker get in on the action. He's a 91 overall as a kicker. That is just tremendous. I love kicking. And I love the fact that our kicker just got an upgrade. But that's going to do it for today's episode. As always, if you like today's content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, help content. Catch you in the next. See you.